Well, hello there, everybody. This is Dale from the Precept classes in Cullman, Alabama, and we have reached the last video of the first lesson of the course we're currently doing, Passing the Mantle. I had no idea it would take 11 videos to get through these lessons, but they've been kept sort of short. And in this last portion of scripture we're looking at, which you see is 2 Kings chapter 4, verses 38 through 44, there's two wonderful little accounts right here, two wonderful stories that really speak to us. So let me encourage you, if you haven't read the passage yet, put the video on pause, read it, meditate upon it, think about it, and come back and we'll spend a little time together. So what we see here is that Elijah returns to Gilgal. Elijah traveled a lot. He's here, he's there, he's all over the place. And when he gets there, he finds out there's famine in the land. Well, the sons of the prophets, he was with them, and they were eating. They had gone out to gather whatever they could find. And one of them had found a wild vine that had wild gourds on it. And he got a bunch of them, sliced them up, threw them in a pot. And while they were sitting there eating, one of the men cried out, one of the great lines in Scripture, "O man of God, there is death in the pot." There's death in the pot. In other words, we are eating poisonous food here at the very moment. And I want you to see what the man of God did. Apparently, he was calm. And he sat there and he said, "Bring me some meal." And so they brought the meal. Now remember, it was a time of famine, so this would have been of high value, right? He brought some meal. He threw it in the pot. There was no harm. They continued eating. Then we have an account that a man brings a man of God bread of the first fruits. In other words, the first fruit of the harvest had come in, and he made some bread up for the man of God, and he brought him 20 loaves of barley along with some fresh ears of grain. Well, the man of God says, "Give this to the people." He looks to his attendant, his servant, and says, "Give this to the people." And the attendant says, "But there's 100 men here." And the man of God said, "Don't worry, they shall eat, and they shall have some left over." And the last verse says, well, they distributed, they gave it out, and it was true according to the word of the Lord. And you might say to yourself, well, what does this have to do with me today? The same kind of thing occurs today. Okay, and it occurs in various parts of the world, where there's famine, where there's need, and things like that, that the Lord provides. He provides for us, but in our society, quite often, we don't pay any attention to it. We think it is of our own flesh and our own work that things come about. But I got news for you. This kind of thing is going to happen in our location, regardless of where you are. Days are quickly coming upon us to where people are going to be looking, and our very corporeal existence is going to be dependent upon the man and the woman of God. You may be the one that has to pray and know what to do with the situation with food. You may be the one that says, "Distribute it, there will be enough." We have had this kind of thing actually happen in our family and our group where we gather together and worship as a local body. And so here's the question I've got for you. Are you prepared to be the man of God, the woman of God that will be used in this way? Do you really believe? Do you really believe? I would encourage you to do this. Just go before the Lord and say, "Lord, I believe, help my unbelief." And then just submit yourself to the Lord and be willing to do whatever He calls upon us to do. Again, I thank you for being with us during this first lesson. We'll continue on, okay? And I'll see you again next time. Goodbye.